Words are often just echoes on the surface of a deep lake. Repeating optimistic phrases or writing wishes on pieces of paper might feel like a powerful ritual, but in reality, it's like building castles in the sand. The power isn't in the statement itself but in the consciousness that supports it. Without internal change, these affirmations remain adrift, disconnected from the reality we seek to transform. Relying solely on words is like trying to open a door with an incomplete key. The automatic repetition of desires doesn't penetrate the fabric of reality because true manifestation is subtle and requires more than empty language. Affirmations that aren't nurtured by inner transformation become broken promises. The real act of creation begins when those words resonate in harmony with your inner state. Change requires going beyond spoken words, diving into the silent space behind them. The phrases you repeat need to arise from a quiet certainty, rooted deep within your being. Think of each affirmation as a candle. If the inner fire isn't real, the external flame will never stay lit. In this sense, it becomes clear that words are only the first step. The real path unfolds in the unseen depths of consciousness. The relationship between consciousness and reality. The world around you reflects what's stirring inside. Every thought, every feeling is like a seed planted in the fertile field of reality, and what you harvest is nothing more than the fruit of those seeds sown in the invisible. Reality, then, is a delicate dance between what you believe and what manifests, a faithful mirror of what fills your consciousness. When fear and insecurity take root in the mind, they become the architects of similar experiences in the physical world. The universe doesn't differentiate between conscious desires and involuntary thoughts, it simply responds. If your mind is anchored in scarcity, the world will reflect just that, like an echo returning at the same frequency in which it was sent. Manifestation is more than declaring what you want, it's about being deeply aware of what you already are. It's like tuning into a radio station, you can only hear the music that matches the frequency you've chosen. As you align with states of abundance and gratitude, you adjust the lens through which you view life, and little by little, reality begins to shape itself around this renewed vision. Inner transformation as the starting point. All lasting change begins in the invisible. Before something manifests externally, it must first take shape within you. Just as a sculptor envisions the masterpiece hidden inside a block of marble, your external reality is shaped by the way you see yourself. The vision you hold of yourself is the secret mold that defines every detail of the experiences around you. Trying to change the external world without first transforming within is like painting over a wall that's crumbling from the inside. Surface changes might fool you for a while, but real transformation lies in adjusting the way you perceive and feel about yourself. When you change internally, the world has no choice but to reflect this new version of who you've become. Imagine your mind as a lens. If it's clouded by outdated perceptions, everything around you will seem distorted. True transformation happens when you clean that lens, allowing new possibilities to emerge. It's not about fighting against your current reality, but about shifting your inner focus so that the hidden potential in every moment becomes visible. Serving only one master, focus and energy. The mind is like a river, it can only flow in one direction at a time. Trying to maintain two opposing states of consciousness is like rowing in opposite directions, you go nowhere. If your focus wavers between confidence and doubt, abundance and scarcity, the results in your life will reflect that internal conflict, leaving you stuck in a loop of mixed outcomes. When you learn to redirect your attention toward a single state, that state grows and strengthens, while the opposite dissolves like a shadow exposed to light. The secret is simple yet powerful. Wherever you invest your energy, that's where growth happens. Scattered energy, split between multiple desires or fears, loses its potency. But focused energy acts like a concentrated beam of light, burning away anything misaligned with your vision. Letting go of your old self isn't an act of loss, it's a release. Every time you choose a new path, part of your former self falls away, making room for growth. Transformation happens when you stop feeding the outdated version of yourself, allowing a renewed version to emerge effortlessly. In this way, focus stops feeling like a struggle and becomes a natural dance with life. Death and energetic rebirth. Rebirth is impossible without first letting something within you die. Just as leaves fall to make way for spring's new growth, transformation requires shedding old beliefs and identities. This inner death isn't a tragic end but a necessary transition, a gateway to the birth of a new version of yourself. Letting go of outdated limitations is like releasing anchors that keep you stuck in shallow waters. Without this release, you remain trapped in worn-out patterns that no longer reflect who you are becoming. By withdrawing energy from those old states, you create space for true renewal, an energetic transformation that is not just symbolic but deeply felt. This process is a journey of profound detachment, where the person you once were dissolves to make way for the one you are meant to become. Every time you shed an old layer, new space opens for experiences that align more closely with your evolving self. It's not an easy path, but it's through this cycle of death and rebirth that you unlock the power to create a more authentic and expansive life. Embodying versus begging, the energy of reclaiming. Asking for something out of lack is like trying to fill a cup with a hole in the bottom. When a desire comes from a sense of emptiness, it vibrates at the frequency of scarcity, blocking manifestation. True creation doesn't happen by asking, it happens by embodying, by aligning with what you already perceive as part of your reality, even if it only exists in potential. Gratitude is the key that unlocks abundance. By recognizing the small manifestations already present in your life, you tune your mind to the energy of prosperity. It's as if every act of gratitude sparks the fire of what's to come. Complaining, on the other hand, only reinforces the gap between you and your desires, while embodying the state you seek dissolves that separation. Think of each desire as a seed. Watering it with anxiety and complaints stunts its growth. But when you act as if you've already received what you desire, that energy creates fertile ground for the unseen to take form. Life responds not to what you wish for but to what you believe is already yours, and it's this mindset that determines what manifests. Complete commitment to the new version of yourself. Transforming yourself is like crossing a bridge that burns behind you. There's no going back. Clinging to old habits while trying to embrace a new version of yourself is like navigating with two conflicting maps. You end up lost between who you were and who you want to become. This confusion arises from holding on to the past, and only complete surrender can dissolve that internal divide. The path of transformation demands courage to abandon the familiar narratives that comfort but also imprison. Real change occurs when you not only let go of old behaviors but also release the stories that justified them. Every habit you leave behind is a brick removed from the structure of an identity that no longer serves you. Staying between the old and the new is like being stuck in limbo, where neither side fully blossoms. Only total commitment allows the new version of yourself to breathe and grow without resistance. It is in this space of deep dedication that transformation becomes inevitable, like a seed breaking through the soil to reach the light. Creating a blank slate, the starting point. To create something new, you must first empty what no longer makes sense. Holding on to old conditioning is like trying to write on a scroll that's already full. There's no room for newness to manifest. The first step in reconnecting with limitless potential is to shed the layers of accumulated beliefs, creating a true blank slate. Forgetting who you were doesn't mean denying your story but releasing the narratives that limit your growth. By untying yourself from the past, you allow the present to unfold with fresh possibilities, like a blank canvas waiting to be filled. In this process, you gain the opportunity to rebuild your identity from scratch, shaping it according to your most authentic desires. pure consciousness is a fertile field where possibilities sprout freely, unhindered by the labels that used to define you. It's like a freshly tilled garden, ready to receive new seeds. When you operate from this state, creation is no longer an effort, it becomes a natural outcome of aligning with what you truly desire, without interference from what came before. The importance of faith in the manifestation process. Faith is like walking on an invisible bridge, trusting that each step will make the path appear beneath your feet. Before something can materialize, you must believe in it with the same certainty as someone who already possesses it. Manifestation doesn't respond to doubt or hesitation, it responds to the quiet conviction that what you desire already exists in the unseen, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Believing in the invisible is an act of courage that defies common logic. While the rational mind demands proof, faith operates beyond evidence, like a compass pointing toward possibilities yet unseen. The doubter attracts uncertainty, but the one who acts as if their desires are already fulfilled creates an energetic field where the impossible becomes inevitable. Faith isn't a passive belief, it's an active state of being. When you act as if your desires are already real, you tune your mind and body to the correct frequency to receive them. Manifestation, therefore, isn't a trick but a dance between the visible and invisible, where every movement is guided by unwavering trust in the process. The power of embodiment. What you recognize within yourself inevitably becomes part of who you are. Embodiment goes beyond belief, it's living as if every desire has already been fulfilled. It's like slipping into new skin. By thinking, behaving, and feeling like your future self, you create a magnetic field that attracts matching experiences into your reality. Each state of being is like a note in a melody, and the frequency you choose to play resonates with what the universe returns to you. Energy doesn't respond to begging, it responds to the certainty of someone who already sees themselves as whole. When you shift from waiting for something to happen to embodying the identity of someone who already has it, reality has no choice but to align with that new vibration. To embody is to leave doubt behind and act from a place of total conviction. Just as a seed holds within it the potential for an entire tree, your inner state contains everything you wish to manifest. By consciously choosing which states you want to embody, you bring the invisible into tangible form, and your life adjusts to reflect who you've become. Commanding life from within. Words are tools in the hands of a craftsman, but without inner transformation, they lack the power to shape reality. True transformation begins in consciousness. It's your inner state that directs energy and determines what manifests. Your life is a direct projection of the states you embody, not just the desires you express. When you align your consciousness, the world around you shifts effortlessly. It's like opening a window in a dark room. The light doesn't need to be forced, it just flows in. By aligning internally with what you desire, you become the active creator of your experience rather than a passive spectator of circumstances. Commanding life is a subtle art, where every thought and emotion becomes a brushstroke on an invisible canvas. Nothing happens by chance, everything responds to your inner state. The real power isn't in chasing results but in cultivating within yourself the essence of what you wish to experience. In the end, the life you live is exactly what you allowed yourself to become. Thank you for watching. If this content resonated with you, consider supporting the channel on Buy Me a Coffee and sharing it with those you care about. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss future videos.